If you call yourself an everyday carrier, hi EDC, I carry every day, but your gun spends more time in the safe or on the nightstand than your body, you're not alone and you're not a fraud. You're just living in a real body in real life with real limitations. Today, I want to show you the exact three-step plan I'm using as a guy over 55 to fix my own inconsistent carry without pretending I'm like a 25-year-old decked out like an action hero. My name is Dave. I'm an armed citizen, husband, son, and a brother, and I live in Phoenix. It gets hot. In the summer, I'm usually in shorts and a light shirt. In my midsection, well, I've crossed Dunlop. My belly is Dunlopped over my belt line. Now, I've carried a gun for years. I've trained. I've taken it very seriously, but I had to get honest. I was not carrying every day. Now, for a guy who wants to protect his family, that realization was a slap in the face. A little while back, I was diagnosed with ADHD as an adult. Now, on one hand, it explained a lot. My emotions would spike way higher than the situation called for. I'd get angry, stressed. Certain days I would feel wired, irritable for no reason. My energy would ebb and flow, super focused till I can't think straight in the same day. My wife and I sat down and we had a long, hard conversation. We both knew this. The gun is a tool, but I am the operating system. And if that system is glitchy, that's a problem. So we made a plan. When my conditions and brains are not what they should be, if they're way off, we just say today is not a gun day. The guns get locked up. Other tools and strategies will move into the front. Now, I'm sharing this because I do take guns so seriously, I'd rather disarm myself than risk hurting somebody else, the wrong person. Now, here's the thing. You might not have ADHD. Maybe it's pain or grief, stress, medicine, or just age catching up with you. Label does not matter. Throw it out. Would you trust today's version of yourself with a gun? That is the question. That's what I built my everyday carry mindset from the ground up. Now here's the simple three-step plan I'm using, and then you can obviously steal. Please do. Track it for a week. Name your red flags. Build a zero friction carry. Where I'm going to walk through each one slowly so you can take more time, more safety, and you can work with the real body in real life you have right now. Track it for a week. Before we fix anything, we have to be honest with ourselves. 1 week, don't change anything. Just grab a note, sticky note, notes app. I would text myself at the end of the day, ask, did I carry a gun outside the house today? If not, why? Be specific. Was it too hot? Clothing didn't work. Holster or gun digging into your hip or gut. Back pain. Didn't feel mentally right. Going somewhere where I wasn't sure it was gun friendly, so I left it at home. Now there's no judgment, no tough guy talk, just data. The end of the week, look at your notes, and you might think you might be an everyday carrier, but your own tracking might say, oh, I only carry 2 or 3 days out of the 7. Or I almost always carry on weekends, but never on weekdays. Or anytime I'm stressed, I leave the gun at home. That's not failure, it's clarity. You can't fix what you don't know or measure. Now, 2, you have to name your red flags. We're going to build a personal safety guardrails for your body and your mind, and you have to ask yourself, would I trust this version of me? Would I trust this version of myself with a gun in a tense situation? Then get specific. You make 2 short lists. Physical red flags. These are body, health days where you know you're off. Pain is so bad you can't think straight. New meds that are making you groggy or dizzy. Your vision might flare up. Tremor, hand issues that are worse than normal. Exhaustion where you're zoning out behind the wheel. I know we've all been there. On those days, maybe your plan becomes no appendix carry because the bending makes you see stars. No firearm, but you carry pepper spray or focus on avoidance and awareness. Now you also have to look at the emotional red flags. These are the big ones. These are the days where your head and your heart are not in a good place. You might be more irritable than usual, snapping at people over small stuff. Deep down, you're checked out or in a very dark headspace. I have been there. You feel like you want confrontation. You feel that anger. You might be grieving, overwhelmed, processing big stuff in life. That is not weakness. It's being human. This is where a spouse, friend, or partner can be one of your greatest safety tools. My wife and I agreed on something very simple. We both have permission to say, Honey, you're not feeling right. Let's lock up the guns. And when neither of us says it, we listen. You can do the same thing in your house. Write your red flags down. Post them somewhere private. Agree with them as a family. So when the red flags show up, you change how you carry, or you don't carry at all, because protecting your people, your family, includes protecting them from us on our worst days. Now, to build a zero friction carry rig, we deal with comfort and practicality. I know a lot of us over 50, 55 are not carrying because not because we don't care, because it hurts. I've done this. It digs, it prints, doesn't work with the clothes we actually wear. We can fix that. Goal is one primary setup that's so easy and so comfortable, it just feels weird not carrying it. Commit to one gun in one position. Pick the gun you shoot well and can conceal in your normal clothes. You also pick a carry position that works best for your body. Appendix, strong side, 3, 4 o'clock. I don't do appendix, I have my fat belly, so I typically go with like a 3:30, 4 o'clock. And decide, this is my default. This is what I train with. This is what I carry. Fix the belt and holster before you start blaming the gun. Now here's a quick win that solves a lot of comfort issues. If your holster feels like a hot brick, start by upgrading your belt. If your holster feels like sandpaper, you can upgrade your holster. If it still sucks, yeah, you can throw it in the graveyard, but don't force it just because the holster was expensive. Comfort is paramount. Real gun belt spreads the weight and keeps the weight of the gun where it's supposed to be. For me, this is the Crossbreed Super Tuck inside the waistband. Fits very well with the 19 or the 27 for the Glock on this middle-aged body. Now, that does not mean it's the holster for you. This solved the problem for me. Now, if you want to see exactly what I'm using, I've got my holster, belt, everything linked below. Take the test at home before you trust in public. Do a simple house test. Wear your normal clothes. Put your unloaded gun in the holster. Move, bend, sit, drive around the block, pick up something from the floor. Go about your business. If you're constantly adjusting, poking, or thinking, this sucks, this is miserable, it's not going to work. The gun's probably going to live in a safe, not on your body. Make changes until you can say, oh yeah, I forgot I was wearing that. That's what zero friction is. Make a simple carry rule. We're not trying to pass a test online. We're trying to protect our families and our loved ones in real life. Create a simple rule you can live with. Like if I'm driving farther than the mailbox, I'm carrying. If I leave the house with my wallet and keys, my gun goes too. The more boring and automatic that choice becomes, the more you actually carry. That's what I started doing. Anything over a 5-minute drive, or if I'm going to a place where there are no firearms allowed. Now we're going to pull this all together one more time so it sticks. Track it for a week, name your red flags, and then build your zero friction carry rig. It's not perfect. It's not Instagram tactical. That's what we want. This is just honest, responsible, and repeatable for real people on real bodies. You don't have to become a different person to be a good protector. You just have to build a system that works with who you are, including your age, your health, your emotions, and your life. Now, if this hits home for you and you're over 50, 55, and you own guns, but you're not carrying as often as you want, I built something to help you out. Take the next step. I put together a free carry consistently checklist and guide that walks you through everything, what to track, how to track, simple questions so you can name your own red flags and for dialing in that zero friction carry. You can download it on the website, everydaygunowner.com, and the link is below this video. And if you're looking for belts, holsters, or comfortable gear that actually works with an older body, I've listed my favorite options down there too. And if you want to purchase any of those, I appreciate it. The affiliate links are there. Please hit subscribe if this was helpful, and drop a comment. What's the biggest barrier to you carrying consistently? I do my best to read and comment on those, and it helps me make videos that actually help you. So thanks for watching, and remember, we're not out there to play dress up. We're here to protect the people we love wisely. I'll see you next week.